The authorities thought they could break their faith here. Bílá Voda is a place few Czechs know about. The communist regime deported nuns from convents all over the country to this village, with the aim of grinding their faith into oblivion.
Many were already very old when they came. They rounded them up here in Bílá Voda from all corners. It looked like a detention camp. They had to do heavy work in their nuns' habits. They mixed mortar, put up buildings, everything. It was horrible. What can I say?
Sister Irina is one of the last nuns who can still remember Bílá Voda. As a young woman, she was one of the first to be held here. She says it was like a prison.
We had to share a room with 14 other nuns. The biggest problem was water. We didn't have pots, spoons, buckets, nothing. Each nun had only the most basic necessities, nothing else. We had to sip the soup they gave us out of a glass we used to brush our teeth, and fish the bits of potatoes out of it with a toothbrush. When you think of it today, it's funny, but we managed.
The sisters simply adapted to the difficult conditions. Thousands of women were interned at Bílá Voda. But the communists were unable to shake the women's faith. On the contrary, says Sister Irina, their religious conviction was strengthened.
The church and the liturgy was central to our lives. The atmosphere around all of us became rather joyful. We supported each other as best we could under the circumstances.
Czech communists and some people in Bílá Voda would like to forget the whole story. But Mayor Miroslav Kosian spoke to the few nuns who are still alive and opened a museum in the village. Bílá Voda was an internment camp after World War II, with one aim only: isolating women of faith.
Bílá Voda is located on the very last bit of land on the border with Poland. Back then, the borders were hermetically sealed. It may as well have been the end of the world. Above all, the communists feared the nuns' spirituality and faith, and the nuns were really solid in their beliefs, even more so than men, than priests and monks. That's often true of women, that they're much stronger in their convictions. And the communists wanted to sideline them for that.
Hundreds of nuns spent almost 5 decades living in Bílá Voda. Tomáš was a staunch communist, but he had his children christened. The nuns were good nannies, and even a communist wasn't about to do without this luxury.
Having the kids baptized was pushing it, really pushing it. I was in the party, and of course I had enormous problems. But that's the way it was back then.
The museum ensures the nun's story will be remembered. The mayor wants to document especially painful experiences of those times, including the internment camp that had no fence or guard dogs.
When we began asking the nuns, we realized many could no longer recall those difficult days. Some said it was nice here and how good it was to live in a great Christian community. There's a reason why they called Bílá Voda Heaven's waiting room back then.
After Czechoslovakia's Velvet Revolution, the nuns who had survived internment went back to their convents. The communists wanted to destroy Christianity in Czechoslovakia, but by putting the nuns in Bílá Voda, they gave them a place to pray together and live out their faith. As Sister Irina says, faith won out in Bílá Voda.